What is up, everybody? Welcome to Great Lakes Hot Takes, Episode 3. I am your host, KJez. I hope you're all having a good time. How are you doing tonight, Lunges?
I am doing fine. I was gonna say I'm tired, but I said that last week. So I feel like if I
Perpetually
say,
tired
yeah,
guy.
if I say enough times, it kind of like people will just think it's like a thing I say. But no, I actually am pretty tired. Um, but aside from that, with us today, again, if this is your first time tuning into the show, yep, my name is Lunges. With me is Cages. This is Great Lakes Hot Takes, where every week we bring on a new player, new TO, new personality from the Great Lakes scene, in an attempt to learn more about the Great Lakes region. And with us today is none other than Jen. We got him into the show. I'm sure that's what the hashtag was about, right? How you doing, man?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So QCS, for the people in chat that don't know, big super regional over in Kentucky there. That happened last weekend. Why don't you give us a brief rundown for those of you that maybe don't really watch too much of the Kentucky scene? Why don't you just give like a brief rundown on why this event, I guess, was special for your scene? Do you guys have many events like this?
We have usually like a few TOs that will host some of the bigger tournaments in Kentucky. The QCS series run by Razor is one of them. The other like big one we have is like Bourbon State Gaming. They'll host like a regional in Louisville usually every few months. Uh, and then we have usually like some monthlies here and there, whether it be in like Louisville or Lexington, hosted by, a couple other like TOs in Kentucky. Um, but that's like the gist of Kentucky tournaments mainly. Those are the sources of them. Like they're mostly in Louisville and Lexington, and Razor's like he's like southeastern Kentucky, so he hosts his own like little thing. That's mainly how tournaments are in Kentucky in terms of like bigger things. This one was one of the bigger ones we've had in a while. Bourbon State Gaming usually gets about like 140, 150 entrants, and this one before DQs was like 170. I'm not sure what it was really after, but yeah, pretty good tournament size for Kentucky Smash.
Well, yeah, and it was a large tournament, but it was also just incredibly stacked too. Like I think the Orion rank counter definitely had it counted as a super regional, and it was almost and again, this might be before DQs, which we'll get to in like a little bit, but it was almost crawling up to that threshold to become a major, even if you can believe that. I mean, like you said, 170 players or so, but like it was stacked. It was
Yeah.
super stacked. You guys had let me think. Leon, Elegant, Apollo Kage was there, of course. So yeah, super stacked. But let me think here. So a lot of people, and myself included, I became familiar with you, kind of in like around Combo Breaker in the lead up to Invitational as well. Uh, talk to me or tell me about your experience as a player throughout Ultimate. How how long have you been playing the game? How long have you been on top in Kentucky? Because as far as I've been paying attention, you've been pretty dominant in the area.
Yeah, I have been. I guess just one like small question at a time. In terms of how long I've been number one in Kentucky, it's been pretty much since post COVID. So like our first post COVID PR, and all the ones since then. So it's been like a full year's worth. Our most recent one just came out for April through June, I believe. Yeah, and I was first on that one. I think that's four in a row. So basically a year of being number one in Kentucky. Before quarantine, I wasn't as good really. I was good at the game, but I had like mentality issues that held me back a good deal. Like just not approaching tournaments the correct way, not learning the proper things about like how to lose or to learn things when you lose and be okay with losing. That's another important thing. Um, so like in the pre-COVID era, I was kind of like in the middle on PR. Usually, so like there, I think I was third once. I think I was fourth once. I think on the one right before COVID, I was like seven or eight. And I played Ike before Pyro and Mythra came out. So if you ever watched my Pyro, you might see shades of Ike in it. But I have been playing Ultimate since the game came out. Um, since launch, really. I first got into Smash with Smash 4 when that game came out, so late 2014. Um, as for just talking about Ultimate, I was initially a Wolf main, and then I went to Ike, and then Pyramithra after that. So those are like have been the characters I've played the most. I play Shulk a good deal too. I've always tried to main him because he's always like really cool and fun, but just doesn't quite work out. So I'm on Pyramithra these days mainly.
Right. And I do want to talk about the Invitational real quick, but before we do that, let me just quickly say to the people in chat, if you want, this is a call-in show as the main format. So in about, in a little bit, we're going to start looping in callers to be on the show. If you want to be on the show, KJS, can you put a link to the Discord in the
Already did.
Oh, got it. So yeah, if you want to be in the show, enter the Discord, put your take in the takes section, and then hang out in the callers voice chat. You can just mute yourself, and me or KJS, one of us will come in and loop you in and get you on the show if we like your take. I just want to get that out there real quick.
But yeah, back on topic with Jin, watching One Night Stand over the weekend, your two sets with Elegant were like both incredibly hype. Like, I definitely recommend if you did not see them, look up Jin versus Elegant. Like both the winners, or it's like winners quarters and losers quarters, I think.
Losers
yeah,
semis.
Losers
About-
semis, yeah.
yeah.
Both of those sets are crazy. They go to game 5. They're some of the most entertaining sets of the weekend. How did you feel playing against Elegant? I'm sure that was pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, I felt pretty good. One of Kentucky's best players consistently is Butter, who is a like Luigi main. So I have a ton of Luigi experience. So like, cause Butter's always been like top like 3. He's usually in like the 3 to like 6 or 7 range in Kentucky. And he's like only ever plays Luigi, and he's played Luigi since Smash 4, and he was around like all of that. So I've literally had like probably 4 or 5 years of just a lot of Luigi experience. So like,
Yeah, and I could definitely tell while watching, like, you were not giving Elegant like almost any of the things he was looking for. He never got like a crazy Luigi combo. He didn't get like uppies on shield hit or anything.
yeah, like I said, I've played Butter so many times. I've learned like so much about like how to SDI Luigi combos. So, like he grabbed me a few times, but he never got like the full 0 to death. He only got like 50-60%, which is
Yeah.
better than dying. And then like I've learned like a lot of ways to edge guard Luigi and how to play with a lead against Luigi, because Luigi struggles a lot with platform camping if you know how to do it correctly. So
Yep, definitely saw you just standing on top platform on Battlefield waiting for
Yeah.
him. Like, what are you gonna do, buddy? So,
If you have a lead, why would you do anything else against Luigi? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I'm pretty good against that like archetype of character usually, like the like kind of bad like neutral or like attributes, but like really explosive like one piece combos or whatever, like off of one hit. Yeah, Luigi. Like I said, I've just played Luigi so much that I kind of know like how to beat Luigi. Like 4 or 5 ways that to look at, 4 or 5 things to look out for that will help you beat Luigi. So like Elegant went up 2-0 in the first set, mainly because I didn't really like know his habits or anything, so that was kind of like data on the first 2 games. Because like obviously I'm used to Butter and how he plays, and Elegant naturally would play a little different, a little better. So I would use that time to gauge how he was playing, and then like in the last 3 games I was like, okay, I'm down 2-0, but I can definitely reverse 3-0. Like I play against Luigi so much, I just have to execute my game plan and remember the habits that I like noticed, and it did work, fortunately.
yeah. The other notable thing about your bracket run, very unfortunate, but Kentucky got 3 people into the top 8 with how stacked that bracket was, which was pretty cool. And then you went and eliminated both of the other, not you didn't, but Wilds got eliminated by Roger, and then you eliminated Roger.
Yeah.
So Kentucky didn't really get to prove how far they could go besides just against themselves.
Yeah, it was kind of strange how the bracket happened to work out that we all ended up on the same side of losers, but that's
Yeah,
how it goes.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
And
well, I guess-
I also thought it was interesting. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jing. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, sorry. I was gonna say one positive thing about all of us being on like one side of losers bracket is like, well, one of us will get at least fifth, and one of us will get like at least fourth. So like
yeah, guaranteed
like, for,
Kentucky
like
top
the
5,
top person
guaranteed
of the
Kentucky
tournament.
top 4. Yeah. Yeah, I
One
thought it's also interesting. You guys have a lot of Ikes in your area.
Yeah.
You have, if you include you, there's 3 on your PR. So
Yeah, there's like me, there's Roger, Alondite and Shin both play Ike. And then there's a couple other people who play like a little bit of Ike, like Repos. But yeah, that was the matchup that was probably the most common in Kentucky for a long time was Ike.
yeah,
Why?
But I don't know, we just all like Ike and we played Ike and we're like, yep, he's fun and we like Fire Emblem. So
Do you guys talk about it? Like, do you guys have like an Ike
Yeah, do you
theory
have, like, an Ike-
crafting, chat or something? Or you guys
Uh-huh.
all just, you guys at your events, you guys are just like, oh man, Ike is so cool. We all need to play him.
no, there's not. That's like that. I guess there's not really like a group for that, but there was like the Ike Discord. I'm not actually in there because like I don't really play Ike too seriously anymore. I'm not like an Ike main or anything. I'm not even in the Aegis Discord either. I'm not really into character Discords really, but yeah, I mean we just all happen to like and play Ikes, and we'd bounce ideas off each other if we're all at the same tournament. But nothing crazy.
Yeah. I definitely want to return to something earlier that you said, and it's kind of a pertinent topic on social media. So you said you generally do very good against characters that have explosive advantages, but kind of lackluster neutrals. So how do you feel about Steve and Kazuya? I know there's a couple in your state now. I mean, is that a matchup that you don't mind?
Um, Steve is a little harder, of course, because he's not just like the touch of death like character. Like he actually has like a good neutral and a better disadvantage state and recovery and things like that. So it's a little harder playing against Steve, and you can't really like camp Steve because he just mines and he gets all his good materials. But Kazuya is definitely in that kind of boat with Luigi. Instead of like platform camping Kazuya, you just like camp at mid range with Mithra. At least that's what I do. So you just like play just outside his range the whole game, and then anytime he tries to fight for that space, you're just gonna whiff punish him with whether it be like nair, back air, dash attack, or whatever. So you just like barely play outside of his range, like outside of electric, outside of like forward air, just those options, like his best neutral options, and then when he commits to any of them, you just punish him for it with Mithra's great whiff punish game. So that's how Kazuya is like pretty similar to Luigi in that way, except instead of platforms, you're like in neutral at a mid range. But Steve, I'm like fine with. You don't really play the same way against him. You just try to make smart decisions in neutral and get the most off of your hits while respecting his reversal options like minecart and anvil. And I've got like decent amount of Steve experience due to Volt, so I feel like I do fine against like out of state Steves really. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about them.
Okay. Okay. Do you think Pyro and Mithra win either of those matchups, or are they even,
Yeah,
or are they
he
losing?
probably wins both of those matchups. Steve's
of them?
probably +1. Kazuya's probably +1, maybe +2.
Okay. Okay.
Just the Steve one's the classic. You have to be very on point, otherwise it doesn't matter. It's +1. You're just gonna lose because you made silly mistakes.
yeah, you go off stage just the wrong way, and Steve's just gonna
Yeah.
make sure you hit the blast zone.
Yeah, or you get a little too predictable in neutral and you give him a free like diamond up tilt for like 80%.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So aside from the elegant set, which we already said was pretty like electric. I know I watched both of them, and that game 5 was so close. What I'm trying to think. Wiles versus Leon has to be the other biggest upset of the tournament. I'm trying to think. That's the one that comes to mind immediately.
Yeah, it was probably the biggest upset of the tournament, I imagine, because Wilds was probably like in the realm of like a 25, 33 seed, probably, and Leon was the 4 seed. So that's probably like an SPR like 6 or
Lot.
7 or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Definitely.
crazy. Yeah.
I was not watching that match live. I was playing friendlies with someone because they wanted to play with me in practice. But I did hear the crowd going off, and I saw that Wilds eventually won. I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah,
It really is.
Game 1 fits in like a 50-second clip. It's it's insane. Like he was lighting him up.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to see that clip, I just posted it in chat.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, no, that was and okay. I don't know if you know. I don't mean to like buy into the meme, but legitimately, how old is he?
I believe he's 12, 12 or 13.
Hey, he's in
I'm pretty sure
chat.
he's 12.
He
Yeah,
is.
well,
Yo, Wilds, welcome, man. I've
Dang,
only seen
at
Wilds.
12.
I saw Wilds at cost, and that was the only other time I saw him. And I mean, he was going. I know we beat Boo Bear, who was kind of like a legacy power ranked player in the Michigan scene, and then Goma Kempe as well is also kind of fitting in that same boat. Like both players like definitely have a lot of skill at the game, and Wild Set was so close, and I'm like, who is this kid? He's not missing like any of his conversions. This character is so scary to fight against. Yeah, that episode was absolutely wild, absolutely wild. But oh holy moly, is Wilds from Southeast Kentucky then?
I believe he's from Lexington, so Eastern Kentucky. That there's mainly two big hubs for Kentucky Smash, and it's pretty obvious if you know Kentucky cities, like which ones it would be. Louisville and Lexington. That's where like 90% of players are. Me and Roger are actually from Western Kentucky. We're both in the same town.
Okay. Is there any beef between the two cities, like any kind of healthy rivalry, kind of a thing going
Not
on?
so much lately, but there definitely used to be all the time. There probably still is a little bit, but a lot of the Smashers are just growing up and becoming like actual adults, so not so much time
Yeah,
or
yeah.
desire for beef. But yeah, it's always subtly been there.
It's all in good fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of
That's
course.
very fun to hear. Like in Michigan, we have I'm on East TO and Lunges is on the west side, and like there's like a pretty healthy rivalry between the two sides. Like the east side for it's died down a little bit because we have like 5 west players on PR now, but for a long time
Yeah.
like east players just absolutely disrespected the west side. So
I mean, depending who you ask, you still might kind of get some of that, but I think I definitely think it's not as powerful as it used to be. I think we'd rather focus on attacking other regions at this point. Not really, but so I guess on that note, talk to me about St. Louis. How long has that been like a running thing? For those of you that don't know, I think one of the commentators at QCS mentioned that there's some kind of like rivalry, you could say, maybe beef between St. Louis and Kentucky. Are you guys just like super competitive?
Kinda like the beef started just because me and AK were both trying to get into the Invitational, and Kentucky's efforts to like rile votes and attention and all that good stuff. They were just like making like dumb memes. Like Alondite, I believe, was the one who like first started. He just made this dumb meme, like just like talking about me farming the southeast and what like just dumb stuff like that. It had like like the meme of LeBron calling like AK just goofy whatever like shut up like that meme. It was I think that's what started it actually. So and then Luma and Tiger Boy, they like talking a lot on Twitter, so the beef got escalated pretty quickly.
that's funny. So do you like what regions do you interact with the most, I guess? Like we play against Ohio a lot, like just because they're in proximity to us. But I imagine Kentucky probably attracts a lot of outside attention. Um, so who do you
Yeah,
find yourself playing against?
the main regions we play with are Indiana, Ohio, Tennessee, and Alabama. Those are the ones that either come to Kentucky a lot or we will go to their states for tournaments.
Hmm.
Those 4 states are the big ones. We don't really see anyone from any other states usually. It's just those 4. Well,
Yeah,
aside
I've
from
seen
Kentucky.
I've seen the Bourbon State guys post in the Michigan Smash Facebook, but I've never considered driving down there for a tournament. No offense or anything.
Yeah,
So,
no, I mean, to be
yeah.
fair, just if you're outside of those states, it's a pretty long drive for a lot of
Mhm.
people, and Kentucky's still not really known, even though we have good players. Uh, it's
Yeah, I
just
mean,
it is what it is. I
like
call it geographically challenged.
but yeah, since I knew you were gonna be on, I was watching that tournament and I was like, dang, Kentucky's got some killers. This is crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. The main reason we aren't recognized as much is because we haven't really been going to majors much at all.
Mm.
But that ideally is changing soon. I'm going to start going to more myself, and other Kentucky players are starting to make a better habit of going to them as well. Like one that happened just recently was Putter beat Zamba at the CEO pre-local. I don't know if you all ever caught wind of that, but
I did not know that, but that's sick.
I
Yeah,
didn't
like
put two and two together that he was from Kentucky, but I knew of a butter that beat a Zamba. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah. So ideally, the more majors we go to, we can make some bigger waves and bring some attention to Kentucky as when we improve along the way. Ideally,
I noticed that you guys play against like Cincinnati a lot. How or I mean, because that's like right across the border from you, isn't it? Into Ohio.
yeah, pretty close. Yeah,
How many times have you played against Doorstop?
a lot. Probably at least 15 to 20 sets in Ultimate. Unfortunately, he for the longest time has been like quite a bit better than me. So our record's like really bad. It's like 116 his favor or something. But
Oof.
yeah, but I took the most recent set, which was a few months ago in April at like a Columbus thing. Um, and here lately, I feel like I've been doing better, and I'm also keeping up with his own results. Like if we're at the same tournament, like there was a bourbon in April where I actually won over like well no not over him but like I outplaced him,
Hmm.
and then like I said QCS on Saturday I outplaced him as well. So like yeah the head to head's like really bad, but it's starting to get a lot better. He just at first he played like in the handful of sets I'd played with him after quarantine. He just like played a way that I wasn't like really equipped to deal with yet. But playing him a lot, starting to understand like how to play against him more and that style more, and then obviously just learn things about the matchup to make it, more in my favor, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. So let
Well,
me
I
see
should
here.
clarify. He plays Pokemon Trainer against me, not Zero Suit.
Oh,
Oh, he
really?
does. Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah,
Is
he
that?
co-mains both of those characters pretty equally. And Zero Suit Aegis, I've never really played it because he dodges that matchup, but I've heard it's like one of Zero Suit's worst matchups.
Okay, okay.
Whereas the PT matchup's probably even.
Interesting.
Yeah, I kind of forgot he played PT, but I guess like the first time a lot of people heard of Doorstop was when he went game three with MK Leo at Riptide last year.
Yeah,
So and that was with Pokemon Trainer. So that
yeah, it
makes
was.
sense. So I want to talk about the Invitational a second because I think we
Yeah,
got some
we don't
shy.
have any callers, so if you're watching and you've got something wild to say, we'll probably bring you on.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we kind of just want some content from. So if you're in chat, if I'm sure Wilds has some wild takes if he wants to be on the show, but yeah, I guess while we're waiting for people to call in, then talk to me about Gimvitational, and I guess did you think you had a shot at making it in when you first like went in for nominations, or was it kind of just like we'll just try it out?
It was definitely. I like that. I like that question because the first day or so, like there was like the few days beforehand where you could nominate yourself for it, and I almost didn't want to because I didn't think I would have any shot. But then I was just like, you know what? I have a lot of people in this region that would support me. I might as well give it a shot, and maybe with their support, I can maybe get there. That was kind of the philosophy behind it. But I was actually a doubter, yeah. But then I was like, well, I might as well try. I don't have anything to lose, and it actually ended up working really well.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's a crazy thing too, because you mentioned earlier that people don't really put like the respect on Kentucky that you think that they should. Like a lesser known region kind of a thing, and then kind of out of nowhere, you were able to qualify for this at large bid. Usually you'd see like people from like SoCal or these giant regions that can galvanize a massive community behind them in terms of votes. But you're able to scotch tape something together there, so that I know that was pretty cool. Talk to me about what it was like to be there. It was a pretty small format, right?
Yeah.
Was it I guess just like how did it compare to like a traditional like major experience? Was it like super tense between all the players, or was it lighthearted? Like give us a sense of the vibe because me and Cages are never gonna be able to be in an event like that. So
Hey,
yeah, let
hey,
us.
come on. I might
Yeah.
start getting good.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just like the vibe. It kind of depended on what day it was. Like the first couple days were really chill and relaxed and not that serious. But then when the actual like singles days were like coming up, then everyone was like super sweating, like super focused, intense. Yeah, it was definitely a mix of like both things you would expect, just depending on what was going on that day.
Now, maybe this is just me, but is it weird? Uh, you know, sometimes your own rate of improvement can kind of outpace your own perception of yourself as a player. I know that is that can be a thing for some players, so they're not really sure how good they are, right? Until they're at the point where they're, I don't know, going game 5 with like Spargo, for instance. How
Yeah.
how crazy was it to because I don't know if you follow like the scene very closely at all outside of your own region and stuff. Did you feel any kind of imposter syndrome, I guess, or like, going up against some of these players that have huge like brands on like, online presence and brands, and they're going to majors every weekend and stuff. Like, how did it feel to play and adapt against those types of players?
It was definitely a great experience to be able to do that. I learned a lot on my trip there. I'm trying to slowly incorporate it into my play, like the things I learned, because naturally you don't want to try to do too many things at once. But yeah, I know they were big names, and I was glad to be there. But I'm not the kind of guy who's like, oh no, he's so good at this game. I'm so scared. I'm just like, he's just a person just like me. So I'm just gonna try to play my game and focus on what he's doing wrong. Because even if you're like a top like 20 player or something, like you're probably still going to do things like exploitable or wrong. So I was just trying to focus on playing my own game, and it's like, well, I know they also wouldn't respect me at all because I'm just some random dude that got voted in that they've never heard of before. So I was like, well, they're not going to respect me. I'm not going to respect them. I'm just going to try to play my game, and maybe I'll catch them off guard.
I love that mentality. No, that's a sick mentality.
Yeah.
Um, uh, KJS, did you have a question? I'm probably gonna like leaf through some of the takes because people are like posting takes in the takes channel in our Discord, but then they're just not coming on the show. So I might like look for one. But
Well,
did you have?
Wilds just posted one in the Twitch chat. So I don't know if he wants to come on and talk about it, but you don't have to, I guess, if you don't want to. But he said in a crew battle, top 10 Kentucky PR versus St. Louis top 10 PR, Kentucky would win by 3 to 6 stocks, or 3 or 6 stocks, and Apollo Kage would lose to Pfeffel, and Roger and Luma will lose to Volt and me. Thoughts?
Let me. I need to pull up a list of people on 10v10 because my knowledge of St. Louis kind of goes off a cliff
Uh,
after like
I can
Blaze
give you a
Golden.
shortcut. Pfeffel is like our number 6 or 7 Joker Mario player, and Luma's St. Louis number 2. And Volt is Kentucky number 4 Steve player.
Well, what do you think, Jin? How do you think this is realistic? You guys would win by about 3 to 6 stocks.
No, I think if it was 10v10, I actually do think we would win. Like St. Louis is like top is pretty top heavy, whereas I think Kentucky's actually like pretty good no matter like how far you go down on the PR really. So I feel like our bottom half would like clear the bottom half of their PR like pretty easily, which would give us more stocks to spare against the top half. So I think we
Yeah.
actually would. Yeah.
What's Wilds on the PR right now? Is he
He's
7?
7, I believe.
Okay, yeah. And I mean, he did, he got 7th at this, and then Roger got or 5th. So like, or at
Yeah.
that tournament. So like, I already believe that you're what you're saying. Like, you guys are really strong. I believe it. So
Yeah, because a lot the St. Louis PR, it's like after you get outside like the top 4 or 5, like at least in my perception, it sounds like there's a big drop in like the quality of player. I could be wrong, and I'm glad to be proven wrong in a crew battle sometime. But uh, as for like a Kentucky PR, it's like there's like me and there's like a pretty decent gap. Like I don't want to like brag, but it's like there's like me and then a decent gap, and then there's Roger, and then probably like Butter and Volt in that tier as well. And then there's like a big gap there. But then like 5 through like 10 are like all on like the same plane of like skill level to me. So like I feel like, they're all pretty good. And obviously if someone's as good as 5, and our 7 beat Leon, and 5 and 10 are like kind of in the same ballpark of skill, it's like not crazy to think that we could come out on top in a crew battle like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, I guess it's just a little tough for me because I've just seen more traveling out of. Well, let me see here. Yeah, I guess I've just seen more general traveling from the St. Louis folks, so it's kind of like you have more.
You have
Oh
more
yeah,
data to look at.
yeah. At least
Yeah.
for some of them, because I know like the six Weeble Wobs and St. Louis had a good run at cost. I believe Blaze Goldenrod had a pretty good run at Warp Zone, for instance. Um, but I will say that your top your top six does, or top four plus wilds they've all gotten like pretty dang good wins as of late. In the
Yeah.
past couple months, when they have traveled the majors. So I don't know. I'm not gonna take a stance on it because it's something I haven't. St. Louis versus
Of course.
Kentucky crew battles are not something that keep me up at night yet.
Well, we have a Kentucky guest and we haven't had a St. Louis guest, so I'm just going to say Kentucky's better. So I agree. I agree with the take.
Another smaller thing about Kentucky not traveling is Volt is also like 16. So it's not just Wilds who's like a child prodigy. Volt's also like pretty young and
Yeah, you guys need.
he,
So in our scene, Lunges actually drives around a bunch of the minors that are also PR players.
yeah.
You guys need the Kentucky dad to drive these good
No,
players
you
around.
say that, but Wild's dad actually like drives into these tournaments.
I figured.
Yeah.
I figured a 12-year-old isn't going to tournaments unattended. So
Yeah, that's a smart move. Yeah.
yeah.
Volt usually catches a ride from his dad as well.
Yeah. Well, you didn't even need to tell me that Volt was 16. He made Steve, so I mean, like,
Yeah, you can probably infer it. Yeah.
that's already a given. Volt, I do remember he had a good run at Glitch, Glitch Infinite, if I
Yeah.
recall. Now, a lot of people kind of talk about the Steves as of late, how good they are and stuff like that. Instead of saying like, without saying much about the character itself, where do you think he fits into the national conversation within his character? If you've given that any thought at all, right? Because there's
Like how
definitely
good I
some
think
like
he is.
breakout folks, but
Like, are you asking how good I think he is?
yeah, I guess in terms of like, do you think he's on the level of because right now there, at least with American Steves, you have folks like Onan, Jake, uh,
Yanni.
yeah, like yep, Onan, Jake, Yanni, Didi, and I think like in some people's minds there's like a visible cutoff there because do you think Volt is on that level, or do you think he's on the trajectory to get there, or I guess that's a weird way to phrase the question, but where do
No,
you
I
think he
get it.
yeah
I
yeah
think
yeah.
he's pretty close. Like I don't. I think he's got it. I think once he gets more exposure, both in terms of playing like players that are better than him, and also going to bigger tournaments. I think he will be like on that trajectory to be like in that like league of Steve player because he's a pretty smart Steve player. Like it's like he did play the game before Steve. Like it's like I'm not like like some of the Steve players where they literally just start playing the game when Steve came out and that's all they've played. He used to play Simon back in the day, and his Simon was pretty good. I think it was like HM in Kentucky at least when that was probably back when he was like 13 or 14, But like I feel like when I see him play and I play against him, like he understands the game, like he has fundies if you want to call it that. So I feel like after going to bigger tournaments and playing better players, he's just gonna like understand more and just play like do better options in general like against these players and start to like make bigger upsets like once he understands why he's losing and what he can do better because he knows like most of the Steve tech like he doesn't really drop Steve combos too much and uh he knows like he does like footstool anvil out of shield like he hit that with me like he picked up on that in the past few months and hit me with it so I was like he has like the Steve factor at least where like he practices Steve and knows like the tech and stuff so mainly it just comes down to executing and learning from top players and top Steves and playing, maybe a PGR player and getting the experience he needs.
Yeah. So it sounds like you believe he's got a high ceiling based on what you've seen from him so far.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely think he has the shot to be as good as like all the other like North American Steves. He just has to go out there and uh, play more people, get more experience, and get better in the process.
All right.
Now,
Well, I'm gonna make the. Do you have any? Did you have any other take lunges that you've seen or anything?
there might be a couple I could pulling from the chat. Why would you have in mind?
Oh, I just don't want to drag this out for an hour just to hit an hour. So I was just gonna say maybe we should just wrap it up.
Yeah, we could probably do that. I guess I do want to put Jen on the spot though about something. I mean, yeah, I'm sure you saw that Summit nominations are live, right? If I had to put you on the spot to wholeheartedly back anybody, who would it be right now for nomination phase?
Because of how the Invitational voting went, and because I owe them for their support after they dropped out, it'd have to be AK, just because, like I said, we had our beef. You know, he won the beef. You know, he backed. We had a deal in the Invitational Summit where, before we went out, if one of us went out, you know, we would help the other get in. So I know he did that for me, and uh, I have to like return the favor for AK on that, even though Onan is a very close second, and Onan also deserves a lot of votes and support as well.
Yeah, Onan is popping off in chat right now.
Yeah.
That you picked AK over him.
Like I said,
I mean,
with the AK thing, it was like a promise. So
I definitely get it. I respect that. You can't just turn your back on the guy after the last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you wanted to create even more beef between your two regions. But yeah, no, that's I respect that a lot. So Jen says AK for Summit then. But yeah, I guess Jen, did you have any other shout outs or anything like that you wanted to plug, either about the Kentucky scene or about, your personal life, anything like that? Any plugs?
Yeah, or if you've got a hot take you've been holding in.
Oh yeah.
You want to bring up, you're welcome to do that too.
I mean, it's kind of a hot take. There's probably like results to back it up, but I think Pikachu's really good. It's just Pikachu players are so bad.
Okay.
Like I think Pikachu's still like top 5, top like 3 territory, but it's just every Pikachu player is just so bad at the game. Like that's what I think, genuinely. Like Esam plays Pikachu, but like Esam like tunnel visions into all these Pikachu things, and he doesn't like actually like play the game. You know, like he's just playing Pikachu. He's not playing Smash. I like if there was a good Pikachu who actually played Smash, like people would actually realize how good and like broken Pikachu is.
Well, didn't Shiny Mark just get top 8 too, over at Smash Factor?
Yeah, Shiny Mark.
Yeah, like
yeah,
you know, like there's definitely like potential there. It's just like
Yeah.
Pikachu lacks that like really like fundamentally sound, like really good like Pikachu like top rep. Like because like Esam's like knows a lot of Pikachu things, but like Esam like I don't know, Esam's like very inconsistent, you know. Like imagine if there was someone as good as like Spargo or MKLeo playing Pikachu, you know. I feel like everyone would think differently.
Well, yeah, it's crazy too that a fast combo character that has a projectile with a good recovery isn't drawing more people to play.
There's so much like BS that Pikachu does. He pancakes under everything. He has a good recovery. You can't ledge trap him because he quick attacks past you. You have to keep that mix up in mind at all times. He has like one of the best projectiles in the game. You know, he has like 0 to 60 or 0 to death combos for free. He has really good pokes in neutral. Like everything's like -7 or more, like better. Like it's just actually crazy. And he gets grab combos because he needs it. He gets like a 0 to 70 off of a down throw. You know, it's like what more does he need? And then like Pikachu players just drop the ball, fumble the bag all the time.
But yeah, especially because like it's a character that I imagine a lot of people would have fun playing. So I'm just surprised why we don't see more representation at like a high level. Right?
Yeah, and like Pikachu has like one of the best top tier matchup spreads in the game. Like, yeah, he loses to like Ness, Game & Watch, and maybe like 1 or 2 other characters, if that. And it's like, okay, cool. That's what secondaries are for. But like Pikachu's actually like really good against every other top tier. Like, even or beats Joker, even with Aegis probably. Steve might be even. I don't know. Beats Palutena. You know, that's just some of the things I've heard. Probably like beats Roy or goes even with Roy. I don't know, but just like crazy matchup spreads, and just I just know Pikachu players are like really capitalize on it yet. At least that's what I feel like.
You heard it here, guys. Jin says Pikachu players suck everywhere. You're all bad. All right.
No, seriously, I swear there have been times where I'm like, I want to play Pikachu because all the Pikachu players are so bad that I
just to
wanna,
prove it to him.
Yes, like I'm just so tired of looking at Pikachu players like do nothing in this game. Like this character is so stupid. Like how are you guys like making Pikachu look so bad? Like that's why the character's never been nerfed, because all the Pikachu players suck and they don't perform. Like and like if there was a great player playing Pikachu, that character already would have been nerfed like 2 or 3 patches ago.
All right. I like it. It is a pretty spicy take. You said you didn't have anything in you when we were asking you beforehand.
No,
but I like
but then when you started phrasing the question, I was like, wait, no, that one's actually spicy enough to work. And I genuinely believe it too. It's like Pikachu players are just so, it's just so bad.
All right. We'll probably wrap it up here. Anything else you want to shout out at the end here, Jin?
Probably just shout out, Kentucky Smash in general, also like Cavalry Esports and Dr. Dude, who's my sponsor, as well as the TOs in Kentucky that host tournaments very well, like Razor and Kevlar. Also, might be a little different, but also my girlfriend Sierra, who I recently hooked up with. She also plays Smash, so she might actually make it onto a Kentucky PR here soon. I'm kind of looking forward to.
Yeah, you're gonna help her.
Oh.
Yeah.
That'd be
Nice.
Yes, me and her joke how she gets my the free Metafy lessons from me or whatever. So gonna see if she gets.
That's the real advantage to
stuff.
dating you. Yeah.
Oh my
Well,
God.
it's one advantage. She's not using me, but it is a nice advantage. Yeah. But yeah, and then Roger's actually he won't have many Saturdays off in the future, so I will need a doubles partner, so I think she'll fill the static doubles partner role for me too. So maybe a number one couple dubs team in A or something.
Nice. I was is Razor the one that was running the tournament over the weekend? Is he the head TO for that? Okay, I saw him do commentary, and he's an older guy, and just shout out older guys in the scene holding it down. Big respect.
Yeah, he's got a whole family and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got kids and like a house and stuff, and I like that. I
awesome.
respect that. There's very few of us out there. We got to stick together. Hit me up, Razor, if you ever want to team up for a tournament or something.
Yeah, Razor's a fun guy. He definitely a character in Kentucky Smash to say the least, but we appreciate him all the same for it.
Gotcha. All right, thanks for being on tonight, Jin.
Yeah.
So you can head out now if you want to. We're just gonna do a plug for our tournament coming up this weekend. So whatever you want to do here. But anybody in Michigan, if you are looking to do something on Saturday, well, or if you're in the area near us, we've got
Kentucky.
Black Diamond. Yeah, if you want to drive up from Kentucky to Grand Rapids, we have Black Diamond happening this Saturday. We just got Zenodo and Geist to sign up, so there's some big names.
Let me see how
already
long the
signed up,
drive
too.
is, because I haven't found a tournament this weekend to go to, and if this isn't like an insanely painful drive
Yeah,
for me, I can try.
it's a little far.
Yeah, I think
it's probably
Kentucky
like
might be
7
like
hours.
six or seven. Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be too much for me, but we'll see.
But yeah, if you're
Oh,
if
yeah, it's even
you're
worse than I
closer,
thought.
if you're closer than Jin, you don't have an excuse. You have to sign up.
Yeah, it's even worse than I thought. It's like 7.5 for me.
All right.
Oh, no.
But anyway, that's all we got tonight. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. And I hope you all have a good night.